Hello everyone and welcome back to my Virtuous Last Rewards Let's Play. Last time we solved the director's office, which went pretty smoothly actually. I mean, I had to think a bit, but aside from the save password, I didn't have to look anything up, so I count that as a win. So let's do this. Sun, star, moon. Sun, star, moon. Do-do-do-do. Yay! Ooh, it's open. It looks kind of empty this time. Yeah, there are only two things in here. First, we've got the AB room key cards. Oh, these must be the star cards that we're talking about. There are two of them. You guys take one and I'll take the other. Right. We're pairs, so we only need one for the two of us. And the other thing is the key, as usual. Yes! Now you can get out of here. Yay! Great. No point in sitting around. Let's go. Let's go! Also, in the last episode we were... Where are you going, Sigma? That's the door we came through. No point going back in it. I didn't click on the door. I just wanted to turn the camera, please. Yeah, in the last episode we were talking about Akane again, aka June, aka my nemesis from the first game, so I'm not gonna talk about it anymore, I forgot to summarize that. It's okay, we just can ignore it. Door lock, it says lock right now, we can just go. You guys ready? Yeah! Go for it. Alright. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh yeah. You found it! Yeah, found it indeed. Look at us go. So, where do we come out? I think we just go back to the warehouse, right? Yeah. Looks very much like it.
No! Damn it!
What's wrong?
I left something in the director's office.
His picture.
What was it?
The picture. Ugh, how could I forget it?
He's getting old. Oh yeah, we must have set it down after using the face recognition thing.
Yeah, I'm going back. You two go on ahead to the warehouse.
I want to come with you.
Me too.
Nah, that's fine. Why don't you head back to the warehouse, Sigma? The others are probably already waiting.
Alright. I have a very bad feeling about this. I'll see you two later then.
Right.
Just don't die on your way.
Bye, Mr. Sigma.
I watched them jog off towards the blue door. And then they were gone. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Guess I should be getting back then. Walking all the way back. Warehouse A. I stepped into the warehouse to find all the other teams already there. Kay and Luna, Pi and Clover, and Dio. The moment Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AB room and slid his card through the reader. Coward.
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
As he turned to look at me, I swore I saw a flash of a smug grin.
There. Happy? This time I waited for you to get back before I opened it.
But what about Tenmyoji and Quark?
You see, I can be considerate.
You shouldn't say that. I just came from the other timeline where you just killed me. Or Quark. But Tenmyoji and Quark aren't here.
Yeah, where are they?
I guess they forgot something back in the room we found. What do you mean you guess? You know that he forgot something. They ran back to grab it real quick.
They'll be here in a few minutes. No big deal.
While we waited, we exchanged information about the rooms we'd investigated. Unfortunately, none of it seemed very useful. None of us had found anything, and we were no closer to unraveling any of the increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. I'm telling you, something happens. Before long, 20 minutes had passed since Dio opened the door, and Tenmyoji and Quark were nowhere in sight.
Don't you think they're taking a little long?
Yes, I'm getting worried. What if something happened to them?
Yeah, what if Quark is... I mean, he wasn't healed really yet, right? He's just feeling better. That doesn't mean the virus is gone. I'll go have a look.
Then I shall accompany you.
Nah, I'll be fine by myself. It's not that far away.
Just don't look into the abyss too long, or you might become a monster.
That's... I don't think... Okay. Look, I'm just going to the director's office. I'll be right back. No big deal. Right, see you guys later. I gave a quick goodbye wave and stepped out of the warehouse. Some, if not both, are gonna be dead. Okay? I don't know. Either one of them. I mean, I don't know why Quark would murder Tenmyoji though. I mean, we know he would kill himself. Or maybe he infected Tenmyoji and then they both killed themselves. I don't know. I'm just not thinking this is gonna be a pretty sight. Director's office. Uh oh, the music. The music. Oh, they're just gone. Huh? That's odd. There's nobody here. The picture's gone though. The murdered Quark must have been here then. I laid out the floor B map. They must have taken the door that faces the warehouse. After that, they probably went through the warehouse and out of the blue door to the elevator. Yeah, that's a much shorter route. On the other hand, it came through the red door, which is kind of the long way around. Huh. Looks like we managed to miss each other perfectly. Well, this was a huge waste of time. Shoot. Might as well head back, I suppose. I packed up the map and was headed towards the door when... Huh? There was a light on where there hadn't been a light before. What? Why is that thing on? We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. I felt a sudden wave of inexplicable, nauseating dread. The light stared at me. I swallowed and edged cautiously towards it. The machine was in arm's reach now. I stretched my hand out towards it, slowly, slowly.
So, you finally made it.
Whom? No, you're...
I am Zero. I was the one who brought you here. You undoubtedly have as many questions for me as there are stars in the sky.
Yeah?
As you can see, however, this is only a recording. I will therefore be unable to directly answer any questions. Ask if you wish, but I cannot respond.
I considered taking a swing at him, but decided that was spectacularly futile and kept a balled fist at my side.
Now, where to begin? There are many things I wish to tell you, but unfortunately, our time is limited. As such, the information I can provide is also limited. I have chosen two things of great importance to tell you. First, I will tell you about termites. In retrospect, I suppose that's a rather odd thing to say. I imagine you look rather bewildered right now. Perfectly understandable. The person who kidnapped you and threatened you with death is lecturing you about insects.
Now you're wasting time, Zero,
I
please.
suspect it hardly seems fair. Nonetheless, this is very important. In a way, it will determine your fate. So I ask that you listen carefully. Have you ever seen a termite mound? They are splendid structures. Some might even call them works of art. Termites are natural architects, and their mounds are both structurally sound and make excellent use of space. So, are they following some sort of plan as they build? Are there termite blueprints detailing which room goes where? No, of course not. Each termite is simply an oblivious cog in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of termite DNA. It is doubtful an individual termite has any idea what its contributions are helping to create. But a human does. We can appreciate the elegant forms of their alien cathedrals. We can see the simple beauty of their perfect functionality. We can understand the splendid planning of their structure. In other words, only an intelligence of a higher order can understand the beauty of what the termite builds. Now, consider humans. Why are we alive? Why do we love and give birth? Why do we create? From where do our cultures spring? There are many theories, but no one knows the truth. We are oblivious cogs in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of human DNA. No doubt you see now what this analogy is supposed to illustrate. Yes, I mean to say humans are not different from termites. We trudge through our lives with no greater understanding of our ultimate goal. You might say we don't understand what we're building. Only an intelligence of a higher order than ours can understand what we're doing. Imagine how we might look to such an intelligence. We may be building some structure so perfect and elegant, we can't even perceive it. Whatever it is, we've likely been building it on a dimension just above the ones we know since time immemorial. If we are like the termites, then what we've created is almost certainly something of tremendous beauty. And you are about to catch a glimpse of it. Or have you already?
Question mark?
Well, that's enough on that subject, I think. Consider what I've said. Now, let's move on to the second topic. It is somewhat more immediately meaningful to your life, and, in fact, the lives of several billion other people.
Thank you.
I realize this is rather sudden, but I have a password for you. It is the password to disarm the bomb, numbered 1.
Bomb?
Are you ready? I will only say this once, so pay close attention. The password to disarm the number 1 bomb is BQZ, RGJ, DXR.
BQZRDJDXR. I had no idea what he was talking about. What bomb? Was he saying there were bombs too? If he'd guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it.
That is the last of the information this message was meant to convey. Before I go, however, I have a warning. You cannot tell any of your companions what you heard or saw here. If you do, you will be penalized immediately.
How would you... okay, I guess Zero Junior still oversees this, but still, but...
I hope we will meet again someday. We would have much to discuss.
Wait! God damn it, you can't just spout all that crap and disappear. I found myself yelling at empty air. The hologram had disappeared. Ah. What kind of an idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? How could that have anything to do with kidnapping us? Shit. I kicked out at a nearby shelf.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Oh crap. I need to get back. Not like there's any point staying here. I spun around and ran out of the room, towards the warehouse. Okay. But where are Quark and Temyoji?
Grandpa! Look! Mr. Sigma's back!
Okay. They were fine, actually. I was just worrying over nothing, I guess.
Took you long enough.
Where are the others?
In the AB rooms.
They went in already?
Yep.
Why didn't you two? Have you been waiting for me?
Yeah! Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before we voted, no matter what.
Oh?
Nothing that significant. Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose ally this round. That's it.
And you had to tell me that no matter what? Seems kinda pointless. I mean, words are cheap. You can promise whatever you want.
True, but we've got something to back it up. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Quark and I both have 8 BP. We're already on the home stretch. So what do we need to get to the magic number? Well, we need you to choose ally. If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick.
You'd get to 9 whether you got 2 or 3 points.
Exactly. That being the case, we don't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose ally, we both gain points.
True, but you must have considered that I'll choose betray. That would mean you choose betray too, to protect yourselves.
But that's why we're telling you we won't choose betray.
Mm-hmm.
Can I trust you?
Of course.
Alright, tell me one thing. Let's say we do this and both ally. Everybody gets 2 points. That means you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you. But I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't going to just open the number 9 door and leave us in the lurch?
I can guarantee it.
How?
I can give you my word. I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so. I swear it. We aren't going to abandon everybody else just so we can escape.
I swear too. I promise.
Man, so all you've got is a promise, huh?
When I make a promise, I keep it. Trust me.
Please! You've got to trust us!
Alright, fine. I'll trust you. Well, not yet. I'm gonna trust you in the other timeline because, you know, we gotta betray first.
Polling closes.
We're counting on you, Sigma.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't really tell me anything. I'm just gonna think the betray road is probably gonna be the bad one yet
You
again.
gotta choose ally! You promised!
With that, they turned and ran into the AB room second from the right. Well, guess I should get moving. Start. Man. Nobody to talk to this time. Did them solo.
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
So I can't even blame anyone if I choose betray. I mean, not that I ever did, but you know. I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tenmyoji? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my BP to 6. I'd be that much closer to 9. And choosing betray Betray would guarantee that they wouldn't try and escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet, but...
Please! You've gotta trust us! You've gotta choose ally! You promised!
Tenmyoji, I could betray easily enough, but Quark... What? Should be it's actually the other way around. I feel like Quark is more suspicious than Tenmyoji, honestly. What the hell was I going to do?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9.
Although
8,
technically, yeah, Tenmyoji
7,
has betrayed us before.
6, 5, 4, 3.
So I get why he would be
2,
less trustworthy.
1.
But I don't know, man. Quark is still... I'm still very suspicious of him, mostly because we hadn't really had that much time with him. Only like this last escape room. So, I don't know. I'm sorry. Gotta do this first. Boom.
Round 3 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Boing.
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
I don't even know, like we haven't even talked about the others, like what they would choose and what their points are. So... Well, they betrayed each other. Oh, 4K. Oh! See? Oh my god! Oh my god! Well, also Clover, of course Clover shows betray. Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously that just makes sense. That's just a defensive maneuver. That's half a defensive maneuver, although I can see Clover being a big influence in choosing betray. So she's gonna get out. And yeah, they were gonna... Were they gonna kill me? No, you lose 3 points, right? Actually, they were gonna kill... Oh no. No, never mind, you lose 2. I'm stupid. They weren't, but would be down to 1.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Hey, what's the deal?
Quark had nothing to do with it. I entered the vote.
So, why did you choose betray?
Couldn't I ask you the same thing?
Da, 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 da.
I don't really think this is the time for a fight, though.
Question mark?
Look, Clover's over by the door.
What? Oh no. Bye-bye. Why is it always Clover getting out? I mean, in my headcanon, or in my... I shouldn't say headcanon, my... incomplete knowledge of the game.
The number 9 door.
I'm still thinking, since they are in space, and she can't depressurize when she goes through the door, that she just dies. So that's... yeah.
Fuck, she opened it.
Ugh! Why? Clover, wait!
Clover! What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm going to call the others.
What?
I'll get justice for Alice.
Justice? Wait, do you mean... Don't do it.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Time for me to go. No! Please, Clover, wait!
Like hell, I'm just gonna let you walk out of here.
Dio let that Clover, his fists raised. Clover easily avoided him and moved towards the door.
Goodbye.
I caught one last glimpse of her face as she slid through the door. It was a mask of ice. Yeah. That's a rip, man. That's a rip.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Well, that was a rip. But hey, at least they didn't choose ally, so I don't even feel bad choosing betray because I just defended myself, right? So that doesn't make this good, but I feel better about myself. That's all that matters, right? Oh man. It's interesting, we still have only one ending and we're like 21 hours, like almost 22 hours into this game, man. Although to be fair, I could have gotten the other ending if I just went with the other choice, whatever. What's this again? 5 minutes of life, alright. There's enough antiviral medication. Right, that was the laboratory. Who planted the bomb? Okay, we don't know that. That was who planted the bomb. Right, that was the the Ace Attorney screenshot of Sigma pointing. I'm just like Zero just told us the password for the bomb, so I'm like, did something over here open? But it didn't. Well, let's do it right this time, and maybe get betrayed. Although maybe now that I choose ally, maybe they also choose ally. So who knows? Oh, the things I don't.
1 minute remains until.
I mean, it is kind of odd because it's actually not really dependent on what I choose, but more on what like Kay or Clover choose. Like I think Clover's gonna betray again, but if Kay is gonna betray, then she can't get out, right? Like if everything stays the same, Clover just gets out again, and this doesn't change anything. So, well, we'll see if really anything was different or not.
Results from round. Please direct.
I mean, at least if he betrays me, I can yell at him. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh no, Clover's gonna get out again. And, yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is even worse, because Tenmyoji also, for some, like, trusted Clover for some reason, so he's just gonna get out with both of them.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Hey, what the hell, guys? Why'd you betray me?
Quark had nothing to do with this. I made the vote.
Grandpa.
Alright, fine. Why'd you break your promise, Tenmyoji?
I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door, even if we got 9 points.
What? So, you're not going to leave?
Not what I said. Of course we're going to leave.
What?
Look. See Clover over there?
What? Don't tell me. Okay, bye. Oh man.
Oh no.
Jeez.
That bitch!
Wait. Quark and Tenmyoji have...
The words were barely out of her mouth when Tenmyoji and Quark ran past.
No! God damn it!
Clover, are you really going to leave? Well, yeah. Why else would I open the door?
But why?
I'm going to go call the others, so we can capture Zero Senior.
I mean, he's probably dead, right?
Tenmyoji, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody.
So, Sigma, happy? I kept my promise. Clover opened the door, not me.
Like hell, I'm happy. That's some shady shit, Tenmyoji.
You say so. I have to get out of here, and that's that. He's gotta pay for what he's done.
He?
Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah. No point keeping it a secret now, I suppose. I know exactly who Zero Senior is.
What?
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Let's go! Come on, guys! Time to move!
Right.
Oh, wait! This is for you, Mr. Sigma.
What? Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
It's a letter. I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game.
What?
I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is. So, read it, okay?
He pressed it into my hand.
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
Well, see you never. Then he turned and ran towards the door, Tenmyoji and Clover following in his footsteps. I was so surprised by the letter that I didn't even try to stop them. Before I could think of anything to say.
See you.
Goodbye.
Damn. Also, that's interesting. So, are we saying it's confirmed? Nobody of us is Zero? I mean, we can confirm K, I guess, but if Tenmyoji is like, oh yeah, I know who Zero is, I'm just leaving. So...
The number 9 door has closed.
So that means none of us is Zero.
This ends the no. Thank you. As the escape, please.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay. We had that, like, way too much.
Shit! They're gone.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read. Oh. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow I managed to hear a baby crying. I guess he must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he was always carrying the directions around with him. Also, I guess I was pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess it was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small, and he was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was one, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get a scratch. I started walking when I was 2, and when he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyway, I didn't really have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I'd started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. Then he'd fix it up or pull out the useful parts and sell them. There are plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts are useful, or you could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, all sorts of things. Usually though, I just wanted to finish up the work so I could go to the theater. The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They'd show old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he'd only go weeks where they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try and find somebody who'd take me. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd asked her if she would take me too. I gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa had tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he'd brag to everybody about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me while I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." It never bothered me before, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day, he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. He went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here. But I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and set me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs just dangled off of it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Eventually, the bartender came back over with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float. I'd never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure it was real at that point, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He'd already turned around and moved off though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. "Is this really mine?" He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I'd never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the world. That's not an exaggeration. I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then, I didn't care whether he'd just found me and adopted me or not. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother but had never tasted root beer. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I'd torn one of my shoes that morning, and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over, and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I had found to Grandpa, he frowned. He stared, going through each thing I'd brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care!" Then he got mad and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset, and I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while, I went and hid in an abandoned building, but by then I'd started to calm down and think that maybe I should go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard, though, so I decided I should wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew I'd done something wrong, and I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there, staring out at the gloomy grey sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night, and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first I thought I should just ignore it and not get involved, but I went over anyway, and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked, and I could tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He'd spent all night out in the rain, looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me so long that he collapsed. It was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get the doctor, I promised whatever god might be listening that if they would only save Grandpa, I'd never ask for another root beer float ever again. He got a real bad fever and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said that if it kept up, he'd die. If he died, then I'd be all alone. There wouldn't be anybody left to care about me. The thought of that happening terrified me. Fortunately, I must have passed some of my luck on to Grandpa, because a week later his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if he had decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize as soon as he woke up, but when the moment came by, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk, and it took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man, and that meant he was probably going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone, but maybe he'd been a little too strict. All of the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he'd gone out into the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize, but when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've cried that much since I was a baby. But he just smiled and patted my head. I asked him if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that, he'd had to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. But when he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever, even if he said I couldn't. No. Well, at least you got some Tenmyoji and Quark backstory. And we got another ending. See? I did predict that we would get another ending. I don't know if it's gonna be Quark or Tenmyoji, probably Quark, right? Or both. But yeah. We're kind of still stuck. And yeah, we already had that. Tenmyoji and okay, it was Tenmyoji. Saw Tenmyoji's ending. And Root Beer Veritas. Well, did I just save in this one? I don't remember. I have enough saves anyway. Well, that was nice. I mean, he got, like, Tenmyoji got everything he wanted. He just got him and Quark and even Clover out of there, so good for him. I mean, that story was still, like, the story was pretty sweet, but I'm still like, what is his connection to Akane, huh? Also, how does he know? I mean, he knows what Zero looks like, but like, especially since he's a hologram, I mean, I would think he's just dead, right? What was that log again? Oh, yeah, that was right. Okay. So we could be continuing this. There's enough antiviral medication. Or, I mean, that's quite far down. Or we could be like, let's go all the way back to the beginning. But you know what? It is always a bit jarring to jump back straight to the beginning. But, yeah. I mean, that's just, how it's gonna be, right? I think we'll pair up with Luna and head with the magenta door. Are you guys good with that?
Sure.
All right.
Then Clover and I will go with Alice.
As long as I get to go with Alice, I'm fine.
I don't have any objections. We'll be going through the yellow door, right?
That means Dio, Quark, and I are doing the cyan door.
Ugh, stuck with a kid and some old fart. I can't see how this could possibly go badly.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky and you'll pull your head out of your ass.
What did you just say?
That was a good one.
10 seconds remain until chromatic doors close.
I just realized I didn't need to go
8,
into
7.
the
We
door.
need to hurry.
I could have just ended the part right at the ending. Alright guys, let's get moving. You already
3,
messed it up.
2,
So at least
1,
open the door.
0. Chromatic doors closing.
Well, I really could have just ended it at the flow chart. That would have been way more epic. But you know what? You know what? That's just how it be sometimes. Lounge. Oh yeah. Here we go. Maybe I can solve this, like, without much problem. But, yeah. We already know what this place is, Sigma. Don't lie to me. Oh man. Okay, anyway. That was an intense episode. And, yeah, the Quark to emoji backstory was pretty sweet. But also now that ending read more like a Quark ending to me. But that's Tenmyoji, so I'm like, what is Quark's ending gonna be? Because I'm assuming, obviously, that every character gets an ending, right? I mean, that wouldn't make much sense otherwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. So, what is the Quark ending then? That's a question we will answer in time, but not right now. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!